Well, hello there. I'm just getting out for a quick walk, but way up north and it's very chilly, so I'm wrapped up a bit. But I haven't done a video for ages, just been so busy running backwards and forwards, doing so many different things, paperwork and everything, that I just never got round to it, so feeling guilty. So I thought I'd best get back to it then. So anyway, I'm nearly in March now, March 2024, and it's already been quite an interesting year for me, as well as like in general. You know, I got stuck over an island. Oh, there's some ducks landing. I've noticed the ducks are all coming back. I've got quite a few pairs, so another month or so and they'll be having little ones, so don't have them too early, they'll all freeze to death. Anyway, so yeah, I went over to Ireland last month, which is January, end of January, and had that big storm over there, so I got stuck in Dublin for a week. What a place to get stuck, eh? and I found a bar big. I've got a picture of it somewhere, called Peter's Pub, so I was at home, perfect. But yeah, it was a great meeting. It was all about like health centres, building or developing new health centres that can be all about health, not about pharmaceuticals, but about health. So these people are setting them up, hopefully all over the world, like to assist man and woman who want to be healthy, as compared to actually taking some drugs off a pharmaceutical company. So yeah, it was very good. All getting set up, you know, like unincorporated associations. So very interesting. You already have some, and some more opening up, and a lot of people interested in doing it themselves as well. There's a doggy here carrying his ball. Hello there. So yeah, hiya. So yeah, it was a very wet and windy weekend when I was there, but then when the flights were delayed, and you know, I got stuck there for the week. But luckily, you know, it was okay. I didn't even have anything with me is the thing. I just took like a tiny little case, you know, so didn't have a laptop with me or anything whatsoever, and you know, I don't have things like social media or anything on my phone, so I could hardly contact anyone when I got stuck. Obviously ring home, but that's about it. But I was supposed to do calls and everything, and I was just stuck there, nothing else to do except put them on. It was terrible. But anyway, we've got that thing is still carrying on, and we're still helping people that are looking to become involved in the health centre. Just going under this bridge. Watch I don't drop my phone in the river. Whoa, 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 whoa. So really interesting times and really interesting stuff going on. And it's interesting to see we've got rid of one of the lizards. The lizards that run all of the world's banking. So I've done a few posts like on TikTok and stuff like that, and I find it utterly amazing and shocking, really, that people still think that, you know, governments print their own money. You know, and that the Bank of England is just part of like the UK government. You know, how do they think that? You know, the amount of information that's available, freely available, that they actually print out. Now, you know that the Bank of England is a privately owned corporation, and they actually lend money to the UK government, and the same as the Federal Reserve in the US, or every single central bank around the world. They lend money to the government of that country, and then that government has to repay that with interest, you know. So all the taxes that you're paying, no matter what you actually get told by all these extremely truthful persons that run the government, you know, all the taxes that you're paying, it doesn't even pay off the interest. So the principal just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, and that's why they keep talking about the deficit going up. And you know, even when I was a kid, I used to be thinking, that's not right. How can that be? How are they saying that the government owe money and that there's a deficit, you know, in the government repaying this? That just can't be right, you know. But obviously, when you're a kid, it's just like no one's going to listen to you. But yeah, it's amazing, like people still think that. It's like, I can't get my head around it. Really, you think that the governments print their own money? If the governments printed their own money, you wouldn't have to pay taxes at all. They wouldn't need to repay any money to any of these central banks, and we would all be miles better off. But that is not the case, because then you would actually probably be happy, yeah, and wealthy, and then probably even healthy. So that's not going to happen, is it? Not until we actually change our stance and change the way things are happening around us. That's the only way you're actually going to change anything, and it's by lifting up your own vibration and getting out of the cults that people seem to have gotten themselves in. Once they call it, oh, they've become awake, or I've woke up, or, you know, I don't like the word awake, because that's like, you know, when you go to a party and some whiskies for someone who's recently died, isn't it? That's what you do at a wake. So I don't like that term, but that's what they say, doesn't it? Oh, now I'm awake, and it seems funny, right? But what they do is, once they sort of like start to realise that the world is not what it seems, and that they've been lied to their entire life, and that everything that they've been taught in school is a complete and utter lie and bullshit, you know. And then the next thing they do, they've joined some groups, and they're on Telegram or they're on Facebook, and then the next thing you do, they're insisting that they have to stop paying their council tax, and they have to stop paying their electric bills, and they get into all these cults that they must do this and they must do that. I mean, there's so many things that's way more important than them, you know, things, and why you have to go and definitely fight this. And I tell you, and when you question either the people that have started to do it, or the people that run these cults, they say, well, why are you going to do that then? Oh, I'm down in there. This used to be salt plains here. They used to collect salt here, so it's a bit boggy. You have to be careful. I don't fall in any of it. There's a hole like there, and it's like loads of water in it, and you just disappear. One of the dogs fell in it once, Beauty the boxer. She got a shock. She didn't like that at all. And she does not like water, or didn't like water. She's passed now, poor thing. Not because she went in the hole, right? Yeah, but then they're saying, oh well, you know, it's criminal what the governments are doing, or the councils are doing. They're charging the council tax, so we have to fight them, and we're not going to pay this because they use it for terrorism and all of that. I'm not saying it's not true, by the way. Yes, I get that bit. Just because you've realised that you know, the world is not what it seemed, and that, you know, there is so much corruption everywhere, doesn't mean you have to go and fight every single organisation in the whole world. You know, you have to have some kind of freedom as well. Don't like give up one cult, which is like the government cult, to get involved in another cult, which is either like, you know, fighting. I'm going to be careful going over here. There's another big hole. Careful. There's more to it than that, you know. What you need to do is you need to learn how to play a better game of chess in this game of chess that we're playing called life. Checkmate the matrix. We're in the matrix. Yes, you can oh, this is slippy, hang on. You know, you can go in and do battle with the matrix, but don't try and fight every single man, his dog and his uncle all at the same time, you know. Like I say, now I know we've got like a lot of associations all over the world that are private, and because they're private, they have private contracts with all of their members. They have private contracts between associations. I'm talking about ones in Australia, ones in Canada, ones in the United States, and they do commerce with each other through private contracts. They don't sell services, they don't sell products. What they do is they provide benefits for the members, or they'll do a private exchange between each other, you know, via a private contract. That's how you checkmate the matrix. So some of these groups there now, they're actually doing it so they can make themselves more of the fiat currency, that they can actually use the fiat currency to move off the fiat system and move away from the banking system. You know, just because one of the lizards is gone doesn't mean that there's not still extremely powerful. So they're getting ready. If you look at everything that's happening around you, CBDCs are already up and running. Don't think, oh, we're just trialing this, we're just questioning that, you know, because they've lied to you your entire life, so they're not going to lie to you now, are they? There's another big hole. I don't think I'm going to go over that one. Let's go around this way. Yeah, so, you know, they're getting ready to entrap even worse into the central banking system. And then once you're actually on CBDCs and it's all electronically organised money that they can switch on and off whenever they want, job's done. And so are you. You know, so you need to look at ways of being able to, like, create extra fiat currency, but then use the fiat currency to get out of the fiat currency system and get into decentralized systems. Now, I've heard people saying they're going to turn off all the electric, and then once they turn off the electric, then they're not going to have access to your fiat currency, and they'll turn off all the internet. Look, there's always going to be ways and means of doing everything. They're not going to switch off all the electricity in the world, because then they're not going to be existing either. Can you imagine? You know, I tell you what it is now, that we're looking at, been talking about this for some time now. Hang on, I need to swap my hand. But very soon you're going to be looking at food shortages. And if you look at what's going on, they're just trying to stop all farming in the entire world. You know, I mean, they had these teenagers, and they were interviewing them in London. They're saying, yes, we'll have to stop all farming because farming is just like the one that's driving climate change. Okay then, nugget, so let's all stop farming, right? And then what are you going to eat in a few months? You know, this is the insanity of it, right? And all of these, you know, people that have spent their life in school and then in universities and colleges, and they've got all these degrees and nonsense, and this is what they've been indoctrinated with, you know, so easily manipulated. The whole world has been run by the Roman Empire and has forever. And what were the Romans fantastic at? It was spying and then turning people on each other. All right, so they've always done it, always done it, always had their enemy. They actually turned parts of their enemy against each other, and then the enemy were fighting each other for them, and they didn't have to do much, the Romans. Very clever. And it's never ended. It's still happening. And, you know, turning people against each other. But that's why I was talking about the central banking, because that's all the Roman Empire. I was showing some photographs, you know, the guy that's, the lizard, I should say, that's just disappeared, when he was talking to Fat Boy Johnson, you know, outside. And they've got Roman soldiers there, and they've got, when he was standing on the, they called it the Arch of Palmyrus, but it was like mimicking the gates to the Temple of Baal. Like, you know, the demon, like Baal Moral. Yeah, that's why they've got that all named like that. I think I'll turn back and go this way again as well. Getting busy up there. Can't have people listening to me talking about all these conspiracy theorists. They'll all think I'm crazy. Still a nice day though, it's just cold getting out along here. Normally come along this way in the morning with the dogs. Well, I haven't lately because it is too wet and boggy, you know. But in the summer it's just great to come along here. And the tide's up, so there's quite a bit of the it's not a river, it's a burn, you could call it, like a little burn, like a little stream running through. It does go for miles and miles and miles up there. Actually, it goes right up to the next villages. It's about like 4 or 5 miles that way. It's just beautiful. I mean, even now it's beautiful. but in the summer it's fantastic and everything turns green. It's all brown at the minute, isn't it? But you can see the little buds coming out because we're getting nearly at New Year, aren't we? March, that's the real New Year. That's when everything starts to come back to life again. So it's New Year, which hence, like, you know, when you get to April, when everything's blooming again, then they call you an April Fool if you were like celebrating New Year's Day on the 1st of April. Because that's when it used to be, you know, when they would celebrate it. I suppose you could call it pagan times, but it was when all life was coming back. So it was a new year, wasn't it? It was a new beginning. It makes sense, doesn't it? But anyway, like I said, I know I've kind of neglected doing the videos for a while, just like hectically busy. So I'm going to crack on with it and get you some more videos coming out. I'm going to do some, I want to go back to do some about the Vatican and going back, you know, and all the different names of the popes and what they actually did. Because the chaos and everything that they're actually running through Ireland right now, you know, they've been trying to destroy Ireland since the beginning of time, really. You know, so then you can still see it, and one of the popes, you know, he actually signed the actual authorization, if you want to call it that, for the English to go and invade Ireland and try and get over here without disappearing down a hole, you know. And you would think, hang on, if the Catholics, like, was a Catholic country like that, so why would you actually send in, like, the English, which was a Protestant country, to destroy them? It's all just all about power and money, plus the ley lines and the actual power of Ireland itself. You know, it's an extremely powerful, magical place, you know. But I'll give you more information on that later. So anyway, these guys that I was in Ireland visiting, I'm trying to think where it was. I can't remember what it's called now. It was about like 2 hours drive north of Dublin anyway, on the River Shannon. Carrick-on-Shannon was it, I think. You know, just a little river, a little village. Beautiful place. I suppose it's bigger than this little village I'm in, but yeah, amazing. But they were all setting up these private associations, very similar to like foundations, you know, very similar. You've got all of these, you know, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which you know, they don't get involved in the taxation or anything like that. So it's very similar to that kind of setup. So we're going to be supplying some more information about that, you know, and how to create these entities where you can like be able to create more. If you wanted to do commerce, right, if you wanted to run an online business, say for instance, you can do it in different ways where you can set it up similar to that and then create this extra fiat currency, like I'm saying. And then with the fiat currency that you've got, then you can try and get your way out of the matrix. You can checkmate the matrix. I'm going to go over this way. It's extremely slippy. That would be hilarious for everyone watching the video, but I don't want my phone to disappear down some hole either. Big deep holes there, you know, full of water as well. And it's like it's very black, like sooty, you know, the soil. So I don't want to lose anything down there. Yeah, but you know, we've actually got our Checkmate the Matrix platform up and running. You should go and have a look at it. Go on the link in the description, you know, and you can go down. It's on the link tree, and have a look at Checkmate the Matrix. It's on a great platform. You know, and it's very colourful. It's like very much similar to like a social media, but it's all private. It's only, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, it's still going to be having people monitor it, aren't it? But it's like, you know, when you're putting the post up, it's just between our group. So it's like no one else can see it, like, you know, like not open to the general public where you're going to get abused for your views or anything like that. But then you can direct message each other as well and talk to each other. It's really good. But then we've got all the different sort of like knowledge shares on there as well about things like the associations, as well as how to create your own online business, and how to create your own private trust, and how to you know, create extra currencies, climb up this hill, even on the crypto world. And we've got people explaining how to do like the crypto. Hey, there's some more ducks over there. Hopefully I'll have lots of babies this year. So it's a great platform, and a lot of great information shares, knowledge shares on there, you know. So you should go and have a look. Yeah, phew, I'm out of breath now. Anyway, there's a lot going on, like with, if you notice, like with the lizards and everything, people disappearing left, right and centre. But I can't really say too much because it's some things should never be said, like where people can trace you back. But there's, you know, some big major stuff apparently going on behind the scenes. So, but again, a lot of it could be because of the imminent crash that we're really looking at. So with that in mind, you know, make sure that you don't have like too much cash in the bank. Just have enough to just get like by for a couple of months on bills if that's what you needed, that you wouldn't feel, you know, devastated if like the bank closed, because when they do close, that you've lost it all right. And then if they do give you something back, it's going to be in CBDCs, you know. So just make sure, wobble, that you know, you haven't got too much money in there. What I would be doing is be looking at all alternative currencies like gold and silver. And you know, I know people say, well, why would you want gold and silver? How are you going to spend it? It's not about spending it, it's about storing the wealth. So right, if you've got like say 20 grand or whatever it might be, I know some people have just done their pensions and they've got, like, you know, cashed in their pensions, they've got a couple of $100 sitting in there. Imagine if they shut that, you think you're going to get it back? Yeah, but you know, you could be storing that in gold and silver and have it in other different places, and that there is a storage of your wealth. So you're storing that wealth, because I'll tell you, when SHTHF, when the shit hits the fan, alright, and you've got your wealth stored different places, it's going to be much better for you than if it's left it in the bank and it's disappeared completely. And then when everything else starts to go wrong, okay, and it is going to hit the fan, it really is. We don't know exactly when, but hopefully, you know, you've got yourself, if nothing else, like emotionally and mentally prepared for it as well, and that you have some extra food lying around. Because this year, if nothing else, is going to be massively interesting. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I'm going to be getting on. I'll try to do maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, get back cracking onto it. I have been doing a lot of TikTok. Checkmate the Matrix. Go and have a look at that on the TikTok channel. I should put that up on a link if you can. I don't know. Probably you can. But yeah, so I've done a lot on there. But like, because I've been doing more on there, I like kind of, you know, plus like doing so much paperwork as well as traveling and helping everybody with the documents. It's been a bit of a hectic time. Okay, so tell you what, just finish off. I'm just going to turn this around so you can see the tide is in, all the boats floating there. And there's a river going all the way down there, goes for miles and miles and miles. It's still beautiful, you know, it's still a beautiful day. And it goes round the corner, goes out of sight there where that bridge is, and then goes out to the sea over there. Alright, see you all later, take care.